everybody. Spirit of 420 here, because everything I do is so messed up and so 420, just like trying to get this one going tonight. So it's been crazy. What's up, Joseph? How's it going, man? So I have been making changes. I'm now, funny enough, if you remember, I always used to look over here. I've been saying I was going to fix it. I fixed that. Let's go ahead and take a hit of this because I need it. Lots been going on. Obviously, I will get to the investigations here soon enough, but things were so crazy I didn't even get to pour my coffee into my, look at this. This is my new, oh, look at that. SO420 mug, says it on both sides. This was for my 1 year anniversary of streaming live. Since I always have my coffee mug with me, but I've had it ever since. I even had it in the old videos. Even in the original videos, I always had a coffee with me because what is life without coffee and weed? So, where to begin? Let's start with what's been going on. I've been trying. My room is now my office, that is much cleaner than it was. It was totally trashed. Hey, what's up? Yeah. Yeah, all I can tell you is I do look older right now because I have not shaved this. I believe me, it is a must, and I'm going to be doing it probably tomorrow or the next day because this is just too much. It makes me look old. So, yeah, I don't like it. But back to what I was saying. Things, I'm trying to, and I even wrote a tweet about it and said it in the simplest of ways, but trying to pick up the pieces, right? 1 day, 1 second at a time. And what I can tell you is for me to sit and say that I wasn't depressed or even try to act like I wasn't depressed is foolish. I have been going through, severe depression, I would say. And about the only thing, thanks, man. About the only thing that really has been continuing, quite frankly, has been me doing this. I don't have to, not employed right now. So, I'm getting ready to start my own business. I talked about that before, but I had to put it on pause. Obviously, loss like that I've gone through, it just forced everything to be put on pause, except really for Spirit of 420, because this is where I find, just like, many of you who listen to me, I find, inspiration and solace in doing this. You folks are inspiration to me. No, I don't have a lot, and that's fine because everything grows according to plan. And I know that I will get there. It's not, it's not an issue. The one thing that, I had to do, because I don't know about any of y'all, but I have some, I wouldn't say severe, but mild OCD, right? So if things are out of place, if things are not where they're supposed to be, then I tend to get anxious and stressed about it, right? And it prohibits me from being able to do what I want to do. So part of the reason that I was off for the last, a week and a half or so, and wasn't really streaming, although I was still around and put out a couple of videos, blah, blah, blah. It was really to, in a nutshell, get my shit together. It was time to get it together and start moving forward. I never stopped moving forward, but I definitely was taking extreme baby steps right? And now it's time to take some regular baby steps to the point where, you know, full baby steps, if anybody gets that reference. Baby stepping to the video, baby stepping to the giveaway. I mean, what's sad is I just finally put out my giveaway video today, the March to 250, if you will. And I mean, to give you an idea, I filmed that like 2 weeks before 420, right? 2 weeks before April 20th, I filmed that. And that was supposed to go out on my 1 year anniversary, but just didn't have it in me. So, you know, it was high time that I got it done. And then I did get it done. I've been sitting on it for like 2 weeks. Friends that know me have seen it, but I've been sitting on it. And why I didn't post it, you know, some of it just has to do with, quite honestly, more than anything, fear of rejection. You know, if I put out a bong and I still don't get to 250 really quick, yeah, who am I to say that wouldn't hurt, right? But it is what it is. I made a deal with God, and that matters to me. But I made a deal with God a long time ago that I won't quit doing Spirit of 420. This is something I'm going to do until I die. And where that will get me, who knows? That is not the point. The point is, you know, and I mean, I could sit here and read them all day. I kid you not, but I'm not going to sit and look for another one. But I mean, I consistently have people telling me that I gave them inspiration. I gave them something. Even when I'm talking about loss and other things like that, they're like, dude, you really, really love what you're doing. Like, that's why I do it. Simply put, just makes it, you know, that's it. That's why I do it. And tonight is no different. It's a Flick night. So in my time off, I had to go see a few films and tried to pick, you know, a few up and downers, if you will. I tried to pick all around. You know, and what I mean by that is something that I knew, comic book cheese, right? That I knew was probably going to be pretty good. Some action cheese, that was Ben Affleck. Some really good war footage and war, and it's not cheesy, and that's Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. And last but not least, comedy, you know, a good old-fashioned comedy, which was Fool's Paradise. Well, I'm going to start off, and I'm just going to go in the order that I went to go see them. And my wife and I did see Guardians in 3D. So it was 3D, IMAX, you know, it was a blast. And I'll just get right to it. It is a worthy film if you are a comic book movie fan. And what I mean by that is, if you're done with comic book movies, if you're over them, I get it. I'm almost there. But I wanted to see, you know, this was the completion of a story that this guy, oh my God, I can't remember his name all of a sudden. Oh, and he's in the news so much. Doesn't matter. Oh, yes, it does. It bothers the shit out of me. So I just have to look, because I know this guy's name. It's just bothering me that I can't remember it right now. And of course, I can't remember it because I'm sitting here with you folks. James Gunn. So this was the completion of James Gunn's trilogy that, you know, he was doing with the Guardians of the Galaxy. And, you know, right away, from the very beginning to the end, I was absolutely, what's the word? Thought it was absolutely great. It was everything that I expected it to be. It kind of, the story, I mean, not to sound rude, but I kind of know some of the story, so there's that. And what I mean by that is, you know, these are not brand new stories. These have been in comic books for years, everybody. The acting was good, and the way that they ended it, it was really an enjoyable film from beginning to end. Anytime to me, if that I go into a movie and I never find myself looking around and I just stay at the screen, then that's a pretty good film. And this one was like that. So 1 to 100, I'll give it a strong 82. 82. It was a good movie. It really was. It was definitely worth seeing in the theaters. Definitely worth seeing IMAX and 3D because it brings it to life. And they literally filmed. This is one of those that they filmed, specifically for that medium. So I was really excited about Fool's Paradise. Moving on to Fool's Paradise. Charlie Day. This was one that he wrote and directed and starred in. I've always been a fan of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And quite frankly, I've been a fan of the other things that Charlie's done over the years. He's, even when he's not the writer, it's usually pretty enjoyable. There was one I can't think of right now that he did, another one that he wrote and directed that was really good. Or at least I remember it being good. Fool's Paradise. It was boring as shit. And it was sad to say, it was one that I almost got up and left, but I'm like, no, I can't do that again. I did that with one film and I can't do that again. If I'm going to investigate a film, you have to watch it, through its entirety, right? But it was, it was boring. The story had potential, but the way that it was done, I kid you not, after 30 minutes, I wanted to get up because I was like, oh, is this all it's going to be? And nobody was really the star except Charlie Day and Keon. What is it? Keon Wong, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Or Jeong Wong. What is it? Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Y'all know who he is. The doctor that's in everything, right? Oh, that's a short. That's not. Wow. Oh my God. Oh, you know what? Is this a remake? Because I just noticed that there was a 1971 movie called Fool's Parade, and it's got a similar, but that's not it. So here, Fool's Paradise. There we go. Thank you. Same cover though. Funny enough, right? Kim Jeong. God, that's it. Kim Jeong. It was really almost unbearable. I was sitting there watching it, like thinking to myself, there was people that told them this is good, right? There was somebody like, yeah, this is really good. And everything was a cameo except for the two of them. That was the point I was going to make. I don't want to give it away, but basically it was like they were attempting to be. This is what I told my wife after we left. Forrest Gump Goes to Hollywood, but Forrest Gump was good, right? But this is that. I mean, that's literally what I guarantee somebody pitched when they were getting the money for this. Oh, it's Forrest Gump Goes to Hollywood, because the main character, and you get this from the trailer and the summary, is basically in essence an idiot savant that can't speak. He's a mute, right? And he's been in a hospital in a psych ward, and they're just releasing him out into the world, and this is his story. So it just goes from one situation, because he can't talk, he doesn't know what he's doing. He ends up, I don't want to give it away because it's ridiculous where he goes and how he goes there. It was ridiculous. And if you watch it, you will literally come back to me and you'd be like, you know what, Spirit, you're exactly right. That was Forrest Gump Goes to Hollywood, except they fucking didn't nail it. They did not nail it. And it's funny, I just looked at the rating, because I don't typically look at the ratings until after I do this. But I did look at the for that one, and I got a 5.2, right? 5.2. That should tell you. I was thinking about that same, like around 52 is what I was thinking. But quite frankly, I was going to give it a 50 just straight up. It's not um, it's not good. It's just not good. And that's all I know to tell you. It was one bad moment after, and it was almost, I mean, like I say, it was almost unbearable, you know. But here I wanted to share, and I'm going to go back and do Guardians because I haven't been streaming in a while. So, gosh darn, I forgot. Uh-oh. All right. Hopefully, I see that my internet is being funky. That's always fabulous. All right. So, Fool's Paradise. IMDb, it must have just gone up because it says 5.3. That's hysterical. Somebody was like, oh man, no, Spirit, it was great. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 17%. Fandango says Bad Eyes, 38%. But if you can believe this, this just tells you how stupid Google users are. And I'm one of them, so I'm right there with you. 82% of Google users thumbed up versus thumb down. That to me is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I cannot stress enough that the story went nowhere. It was boring as hell. This is not a movie to watch unless you are watching it for free and you are watching it to rip on it. And that's, I would have loved to have done that. You know, that would have been a better time. So, hadn't done Galaxy yet. Guardians of the Galaxy IMDb gets a 8.3. So they're very similar to what I said. 82% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's hysterical. Metacritic only says 64%, but 93% of Google users like it, which doesn't surprise me. Almost always, I don't know if y'all have noticed, but the Google user is always like above 70%. Like they just like fucking everything. Oh yeah, that's fucking great, man. That's a good one. All right, so there's the first two. Now you can imagine that after Fool's Paradise, I really wanted to see something, you know, how do you say, just fucking better and entertaining. So we did choose what I thought, you know, I've watched this guy since the beginning, and I'm not talking about Ben Affleck. So the movie I'm talking about is Hypnotic. I'm not talking about Ben Affleck. I'm talking about the director, Robert Rodriguez. I have been watching him since his very first film, El Mariachi. And that, I mean, no bullshit, had that one on VHS. Stole it to make sure to get it. That's a whole nother story, and I will tell that story here soon. I need to write it down because that's a good one. The story of how I built my first collection of VHS. So, anyway, moving on. Robert Rodriguez did this, and I think he wrote it too, or was part of the writing team. And I've always liked his stuff. I mean, even when it's cheese, I've enjoyed it. And you know, with him, you're going to get a little bit of cheese. That's who he is. That's why him and Quentin get along so much, or get along so well, right? Because they both have a certain amount of cheese to them. Of course, quite frankly, I think Quentin still pulls off doing cheesy a little bit better than Robert Rodriguez. But it is what it is. So, Hypnotic. The first thing I'm going to say is that the story, I thought, going in, I was really into the story simply because it felt like somebody watched Push from back in the day with, Fanning, Dakota Fanning, and a bunch of other people. I can't think of his name right now, but he's Captain America, whatever his name is. Oh, there's some comments. Hold on. Let me see what's happening over here. What's up, man? How are you doing? Thumbs up. Yeah, nice. Recently watched John Wick 4. Was dude, did you watch? Hey, all I have to say, New Zealand, is do me a favor. If you haven't already, go back and watch my investigation of John Wick, because after 4, I lost some respect for Keanu. And I don't understand how everybody's like, this is such a... I'm like, dude, go back that we're there. It's a whole. I already did a whole episode on that one. A whole episode on just John Wick. So,
sorry for the bump.
Nonetheless, Hypnotic. It felt like they were building on Push, which never got a sequel, and I was really disappointed because I will just tell you right now, Push was a really good film. I own it still right now. I own it for like the second time because I had it. I think no, maybe not on Blu-ray, but either way, I own that one. I love it. I feel it is a fabulous film. And oh, sorry. Yeah, you'll dig it. It's not. I mean, I did that like the day after, the 2 days after Wick came out. I think we went to go see it actually the day of. I just can't remember right now. Stoner, what are you gonna do? What I will say, getting back on track with Hypnotic. Oops, I need to remove that. Sorry, folks. It was on one hand, it was what I expected it to be based on who was doing it. And I'm talking about Robert Rodriguez as well as who was in it. And I am talking about Ben Affleck because he's a cheeseball. William Fichtner, by the way, I've always loved that guy, but he, as he's gotten older, his cheese is really oozing. That's all I can tell you. It had all the makings. It had a good story line, and I know I'm probably coming through fuzzy. I don't know what's going on, folks. I will have to fix this. It's the first time that I've actually gone live with this setup, and it's obviously getting some interference somehow, somewhere. But Hypnotic, just, you know, the acting wasn't that great, which is sad because you would think that Ben is, you know, going to get better. I mean, like, to give you for instance, a lot of people didn't like The Accountant, but I thought that was a fantastic film, right? But Hypnotic, his acting wasn't on par with who he is, and neither was really anybody. And I think that's because, you know, with all due respect, Robert Rodriguez is okay with cheesy acting. It's part of what he likes. Now, me personally, I felt like it's a missed opportunity. That's what I'll call Hypnotic. Simply put, it's a missed opportunity. Yeah, they missed that one too. There's a missed opportunity. And he's talking about the Bourne series. When they stopped, just on that side note, when they stopped and had the big lag, that's what really hurt the series, in my opinion. Because when these guys just get older and they look older, you're like, you don't believe it. You can only believe so much, you know. Hypnotic, they had something, they missed the mark. I mean, it wasn't horrible acting, okay? And the story is solid. That's the thing. The story is solid. It's everything else. It's some of the special effects, some loopholes, if you will, in the story with, you know, what you think is common sense and what actually happened, right? And, you know, I think it could have used more. I think that somehow on the cutting floor or in writing, they didn't put enough detail. They could have gone into more detail with who these people are. And I don't want to tell you because I want you to watch it for yourself, right? The only clue I'll give you is Hypnotic is a type of person. They can plant images in your head, right? And make you see other things. That's all it is. And that's what the movie's based on. And again, had a lot going for it and had a real opportunity, but they missed it. However, I will say this, it was not as bad as Fool's Paradise, which was no. So I give it a 60. It's not worth seeing in the theaters. It's worth watching when it comes out for free. And you'll probably enjoy it because you didn't pay for it. And you're like, okay, yeah, that's good. Oh, you know what? Let's see. America gave it So Hypnotic 5.6 is IMDb 5.6. Rotten Tomatoes is a 36. I don't know what that one means, but 80% of Google users liked it. 80%. Remember what I said earlier? I told you. Last but not least, Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. Without a doubt, this, in my opinion, was the best movie in the string. It was kind of funny because we wrapped it up with that. Jake Gyllenhaal was awesome. And I have to tell you this, but I earnestly believe that this was a true story until after the film looked it up. Now, having said that, there was fictional story written about a lot of non-fictional things. Okay? So it's full of actual, what's the word I'm looking for? Factual. It was full of a lot of facts and full of a lot of realistic things, and it was trying to bring something to light. And simply put, it was trying to bring the interpreters and what they've gone through over there in Afghanistan. Or wherever the hell. Right, it is Afghanistan, right? I'm so high, I honestly can't remember right now. Yeah, it was Afghan. That was where we were for the whole war. Okay, anyway. The interpreters were promised, in a quick, just nutshell, the interpreters that worked with the U.S. military were promised visas to come back to America after, all this was over. High, so high. Yes, I am. Very much so. Oh, there's another one. What's this? Might be time to pack a bolt. Yep. That's why I got this right here. I'm one step ahead of you, brother, in the sense that already had something packed and ready to smoke. So back to Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. The Covenant, that means deal, right? You get it. Pact, whatever. So the deal that was made, simply put, was if you interpret for us and help us, then we're going to give you safe haven in the United States. Well, as you can well imagine, and this is not news to any of us, but America wasn't the best on fulfilling their promise, right? And all I can tell you is the story, because of that, is highly worth it. Yep. Thank you, sir. Puff, pass. Here you go. You want it? The story was done incredibly well. The acting from Jake and the other guy, I don't know the guy's name that played the interpreter, but he was awesome. The story was awesome. The film work was incredible. I mean, it was without a doubt the best movie out of them. And like I said, I thought it was so, the story seemed so real and with such detail. And you can tell, and that's what I mean. Like, there's probably 100 stories very similar to many parts of this, right? They just wanted a certain story to go the whole way, to go the distance. My guess, between you and me, is that they didn't have a story that did as well as the movie. Had to get an ashtray. They probably didn't have a real life story that ended as well as they wanted it to. And that's the only way I know to say it, because I don't want to take away from it. But the acting was good, the directing was good, the writing was obviously, spot on, if I'm telling you all these things. And one of the things that it did, and not every movie does this, but it forced me to go and learn about the situation and read about, which is exactly what Guy Ritchie was trying to do, was bring some facts to light so that people knew and understand what's going on. Now, that said, I haven't looked at what they did at the World yet, getting ready to, but I give it a 90. This is an absolute must-see. I was happy because I think we made it right before it left the theaters for us. But if you could still see it in the theaters, I'm telling you, it is a total worth it. It's worth the price of admission, probably twice over. So, IMDb, of course, IMDb gives it a 7.6. I truly believe that's low. Rotten Tomatoes gives it an 82%. Metacritic is 62%, and 93% of Google people loved it. So, all I say is the two of them, there was 2 must-sees, and there were 2 that just didn't hold the cake. So, I mean, that's not bad in this day and age to get half of the movies that you went to see were actually worthy. So, anywho, I'm still not used to this new setup. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'll be back. Oh, my God. That's just a lingering cough. It's not going to go. I'll be back Thursday. I don't know what I'm going to do Thursday, but we'll see. Other than that, I hope that all of y'all have a blessed evening, a blessed week. Please stay lifted and know that you are incredibly special and you are incredibly important. You're unique. There's nobody else like you. That right there in and of itself makes you incredibly important. Everybody have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful week. See you on Thursday.
I switch here, I'm a strange fuck. Consist on ain't something I could say well. Throw my change into the wishing for a change well. Wish your day a swell life for the next come. And when the next come, pretend that it's the best one. Like I ain't even gonna try and say that to the next one.